What's going on, guys? Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. Listen, guys, I want to address a few things, but first things first. Training fees. So we have John. John works a 40-hour work week. Out of those 40 hours, John gets paid $7.25 an hour. That's the North Carolina minimum wage, okay? Out of that, weekly, he's only making $290 weekly. I want you guys to remember this $290. Remember it. So John's $290 a week times a 4-week month. Guess what? You guessed it. A whopping total of $1,160. Now, at the end of the day, we're in 21st century. That's not a lot of money. Now, here at the School of Hard Knocks, I charge $500 a month. That's the max fee for training. Divide that by 4 weeks, okay? That is a whopping $125 weekly. That's all, $125 weekly. Take that whopping $125 and divide it into a 40-hour work week. That is only $3.12 or $3.125. Listen, would you work for $3.12 an hour? I didn't think so. The end of the offseason. Well, for us, the end is already here. Well, for me, at least, here at the School of Hard Knocks, we're not taking on any other dogs. We've taken on our last client, Mr. Fred Kitt and Mr. George English. We've taken on them, Mr. Kitt out of South Carolina, Mr. English out of Rocky Mount, Virginia. Okay, so grateful for all of the people that have came and sent various dogs throughout the off-season, commencing the tail ending of last year's 2022 to 2023 North Carolina rabbit hunting season. We're grateful for all of the afforded opportunities for the people that trust and entrust into us to send their dogs here to have those dogs turned around. Watch this, though. For me, the off-season, okay, 49 days till the opening day for us. 49 days, they say, well, you still have some off-season left because you still have the 49 days, Mr. Anderson. Well, that is true. But on the back end of that, we have so many different things to still critique and worry about, or not so much as me worrying, I'm just saying people in general worrying about, because they have not did what is to be expected of them in the off season, in the downtime, in that place where guns are not lead is not being slung and guns are not being swung. Okay, what do you do in the meantime? What did you do in the meantime? Now that the off season, is coming to an end, an abrupt end, a sudden end. What have you done? What can you do? What will you do between now and these next 49 days until the opening day? Now, some of you, your days may waver. Some of you guys, your days may fluctuate. It may not be 49. It's 49 for us. So the end of the off season is here now. We have just a limited track of time to finish up clients' dogs, and then to begin to constantly hone in on the dogs we're going to hunt with. Guys, I can tell you this, as the time draws near, everything you did and everything you didn't do shall yield you a harvest at the end of your labor or your lack thereof. What am I saying? That you're out of time for the most part. You've got about roughly 5 weeks, okay? About 5 weeks, maybe 8, 7, however you want to look at it, depending on your time. You don't have a lot of time. Let me say it like that. You don't have a lot of time. 7 weeks on a full week, 7 day week, whatever, if you want to look at it like that, 7 times 7, 49, however you want to look at it, right? I'm looking at it as far as you working, different things you're doing, and the time frame you have. Listen, the end of the off season is here. Now that it's came to a sudden halt, now what? Now what? Are those dogs in shape? Do they look like you really want them to look? Have they obtained the information and knowledge and those field performing skills that you have tried your best to impart, if you did, over into those dogs? Did you fail them as a teacher? Did you succeed as a teacher? Do you feel that they received something from you as a student? Do you feel that you gave up on them too soon? Do you feel like you pushed them too fast? The off-season. The off-season. The off-season. What to expect in the hunting season. For those of us that's put the work in and the time in that part of the off-season, that very critical moment, guess what? We can expect the top results out of what we put into the dogs. Only what you put in is what you'll get out. Never have I ever heard of someone opening up a trust fund, opening up a savings account, putting nothing in it, but expecting a great reward. You only can withdraw what you've deposited. If you put no deposit, expect no withdrawal. Even the more, if you failed to deposit, that account may be shut out, may be shut down, may be discontinued, maybe charged off in the negative, especially if it had a maintenance fee. The dogs, being performers, livestock as most treat them as, if that is the case, you have to treat a living individual, a living piece of stock as such. It is alive. There are basic maintenances. There are basic things that must be daily kept up. There are daily keeps on that thing that is live stock. You only invest into what you believe is going to yield you a reward. I don't know anybody that works a job. They labor on a site or whatever the situation is that is going to, what they believe, pay them some kind of dividend in the end of their press without the expectation or anticipation of being paid for their services. What are you saying, Anderson? I'm saying that the hunting season is swiftly approaching and some of us have not put the work in. Some of us have not put the time in, and for that reason alone, we cannot expect to have rabbits on the tailgate. We can't expect to not have deer races when you put no collar on the dog or sent the dog anywhere to be broken. What can we expect out of a mouthy dog last year that was mouthy last year and the year before last when we've done anything or nothing, watch this, or something to adjust the mouthiness? Oh my God. Cold trailers, backtrackers, babblers, ghost barkers, off gamers. These are all things that must be honed in. These are things and advantages that can also serve to be disadvantages if we do not embrace the learning curve. Some of us have not learned ourselves, therefore we can't teach what we do not know. And some of us will not sit long enough to learn what we do not know so that we can apply and teach in which we've learned and that which we've learned. It takes time. Some people say, I don't have that, Anderson. It takes patience. Some people say, I don't have that, Anderson. It takes a dog with a heart, guts, and grit. As you start applying these principles and adjusting these dogs, guess what? You got to have something at the end of it. But you had to have had something when you first went in. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Something from something leaves something. Okay? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Something from something leaves something. If you don't start with something, being the material, the dog, the lumber, and you yourself don't take time out to learn of the material in which you've purchased or put whatever into, guess what? That's the nothing plus nothing clause. That's the nothing plus nothing equation. What can you expect at the end of the season? You put nothing in, you should get nothing out. You can expect nothing. Some guys are going to call and say, man, this is one of the worst seasons I've had all X amount of time, Anderson. I haven't had such a bad season. Oh, man, the dogs ran like junk. Then, last week of the hunting season, the dogs started shaping up. Why? Because you're running the guts out of them. But just as soon as the sky cracks and March and April come around, those dogs will sit up in the pen again for a whole off season, cleaned up until the last week or a few days right before the opening day. Or some may not even run or get out until the day of the opening day. Toenails look like Jeepers Creepers. That's what you can expect. Ear mites have taken over their head. They're shaking the head, and one ear's on top of the head like a crown. The other ear is down underneath their chin like where the juggler goes. You know, like a necklace or something that the grandma gave them. You see, that's what you can expect. Anal glands have not been expressed in 10 years. Dogs got 1 foot on the banana peel, 1 foot on the grave. That's what you can expect. You get in what you get out. Listen, guys, I'm not the preacher for the day. I'm only the speaker for the moment. And what I'm going to say to you guys is, don't let the moment of do nothing pass you. Why? Because at the end of the day, when hunting season comes, the dogs are going to be the ones that suffer. And the people that have drove all of whatever time to put gas in their car or truck with the hopes that you are going to put them over dogs that had the expertises polished and sharpened throughout that off season. But what can they expect? If you put nothing in, expect nothing to come out. Tyson Anderson, Mr. Hammer Down. We'll see you as we continue to train in these last 49 days of the off season.
I was driving through Georgia